Oh,
Right, buddy. We'll get going. So,
yeah, man.
this is your new place?
It is,
Your
yeah.
new place,
The
so...
Horwich House of Strength.
Yeah, just looking cool, isn't it? It's like you got all the cool toys and everything like that.
Yeah, mate, yeah. Obviously, we were in West Orton in like the little garage, so we had the racks and stuff. And then over time, when I knew I was coming here, I've kind of bought the machines and that and had them shipped here when I was here. But when we were like moving in, obviously all this was dead, it was just bare. We're putting all the mats down and they kept bringing vans and vans and we were filling it and filling it and filling it. And I was thinking, oh shit, I need a bigger unit already. Where's everything going? And how have I got this stored away? It's been like quite crazy and quite intense. Yeah, it's been good. It's good.
Well, I know you've been thinking about it for quite a while. I remember you mentioned it to me ages ago, like about sorting a place out.
Yeah,
like a bigger place.
Yeah, because we've just outgrown the West Orton unit, and then luckily, like we moved to Horwich, and then this thing came up, which is like 5 minute walk away, and yeah, we came in, checked it out. It used to be like a car body repair shop.
Yeah.
So it had all this stuff in, and we were like, yeah, all right, looks all right. And we came in again. And it's weird because it had like a big, like a spray booth.
Yeah.
So I thought, when that's out, it's going to look like twice as big. I remember coming in when it was gone, and I was like, it looks small. What the hell? But it's still more than adequate for what we need. It's really, really good. I'm absolutely buzzing.
Well, you know yourself, man. It's like you're always, it's hard because I had a little one start like you.
Yeah.
And you outgrow it really fast.
Yeah.
And then you get bigger. But
yeah,
when you get bigger, it's like, okay, how big do you go because of the cost and everything involved and stuff. So you have to just be smart with the space. But no, man,
Well, we've ordered, before we kind of moved everything in, like, right, we thought we're going to order 3 more squat racks. And now I'm looking around and I'm thinking, right, where are they going to go?
Yeah. I love arranging shit. Like rooms and stuff. It's cool. It's
like
cool.
you just said, I'm probably going to move things around a few times before I'm like really happy. But for now, we'll do all right.
Once you've got classes in and you're around it,
yeah,
you'll figure it out. You'll see people like bump into something.
Yeah.
Oh, because I always used to do it.
Yeah.
I'd have this idea in my head and I'd put it in. And then I'd spend 4 weeks watching people bump into a squat rack where they got the plates.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, that can't go there now.
Yeah, that's not working right. Let's change something. Yeah.
And you only know through being in it and working in it, like.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's good. It's the start. It's like every week we're trying to do something new, or every month we're trying to build on it and make it better. So it's been there a week and a bit now, so we're doing all right. We're all good.
So you're gonna do comps, anything like that?
Yeah, I fancy it. Yeah, because we did our first like strongman Sunday type thing last Sunday. Yeah. Funnily enough, that went down really well. Going to do another one probably every Sunday.
So what time are they going to be?
We're thinking 9 to 11. But if that's an issue, we'll do like 9:30 till 11:30.
Yeah.
Like a 2-hour thing. Yeah, get everyone outside as well because this whole thing's quite dead on a Sunday.
Yeah,
so we can go out. And it was after that I was thinking, you know what, I could host somebody like Horwich's Strongest Man or something like that. So yeah,
looking at it, man, you've got everything in it. You could probably.
Oh, you could do it inside.
No, but I mean, done right, you could probably do a powerlifting comp here as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, easily.
Chaos. I think Chaos we did one.
Yeah.
And we all used a monolift.
Yeah.
I think we must have had a rack warm up. I think we warmed up in the rack we squatted in.
Right, perfect. Yeah, that's easy done. Yeah. So we could do that, but strongman for sure. We're getting some new pieces in. Got some of them, them Persephil sandbags.
All right.
There's 3 of them there that just need filling. So I could use them. Got 3 logs, just everything really. There's a few things that we've not got, but we'll get them over time. So that is definitely on the cards. I've just not decided when and what events. But yeah, so stay tuned.
So you have a pretty mixed bag here, don't you, members? From what I've seen. So is it like kind of beginners to advanced? Is that kind of the mix you've got?
Totally. And it's like, it's a gym for everyone. I don't want to be painted into like, it's a strongman gym. I don't want to be in that niche because that to me sounds horrendous. That is just not my bag at all. I just like the world of lifting. Yeah. I don't just like strongman. I don't like powerlifting. I don't like Olympic lifting. I just like anything you want to do. And I just want anyone to come. Like you've just said, the members are beginners, older women to like younger dudes who want to compete in strongman. And some of them are just freaks. Some of them just like lifting weights. They've no kind of huge aspirations to compete or anything. And that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. If you want to compete, mint, we'll get you prepped for that. If you don't, there's no pressure here. If you just want to come in and lift and do some machines, that's fine. That's cool. That's what I like doing half the time now.
I think that's, I think I tried to keep that one definitely because I said hosting comps, and you do start leaning into, you're going to do a comp.
Yeah.
And it's because they're buzzing and how good they feel. But I think them environments, I don't know, I think sometimes they can be off-putting.
100%.
And I think it can kind of, it's like I've said before, like training's meant to be this thing you do for fun.
Yeah, totally.
And
totally.
when you just, and then you see people, they get into it, they love it, they're buzzing, they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then 6 months in, 12 months in, they're fucking stressed about it.
Yeah.
They're
apologising to the family and friends for not doing well. It's like, honestly, no offence, but no one cares except you. No one gives a shit how you did in your comp except you. You don't have to apologise, you don't have to lose sleep over things. It's the same with bodybuilders and dieting for a show. They'll get aggressive and take it out on like the family, friends, the kids. It's like, mate, you've chose to do this comp.
Yeah.
Just because you're hungry, just chill out. So yeah, I don't want that. And I mean, a few of our mates run strongman-based gyms, and they're mint. Like, I've got a lot of time for them. But I also know other people who run strongman-type gyms, or even any kind of niche gym, and it just kind of becomes a bit cliquey.
Culty.
Yeah, culty. Yeah, and that's all they care about.
They become a cult. Mine, look, I'll say it. And like mine did. Mine started to, and you don't even see it because you're the leader.
Yeah.
So you're like, everyone's nice to you.
Yeah.
But what you don't realise is that not even a clip. I don't want to say it because these people weren't bad people. It just naturally happens. You get people in a place. Happens in work. Happens everywhere.
Yeah.
It becomes off-putting.
Yeah.
And you get these kind of people who they like ring fence you.
Yeah.
And they kind of keep people on the outside.
Yeah.
And it's what you realise is it can actually hurt the growth of your place. It can hurt the development of your members. And like it hurts you.
Of course
it hurts you as well. And you don't even know it's happening.
Is never cool. Like gatekeeping in anything is never cool. Just let people in.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And I've as a coach or as a person, I don't know if it's just being modest or humble or just being me, or I hate it, especially when clients, really, really suck off the coach. If someone was doing that to me and they kept posting me on everything, it's just not my thing. I appreciate. Do you get me? I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but it's just not my thing. And luckily, the members and the clients, they're not them kind of people, which is good for me because it'd go through me.
I like, it's nice when you get a tag. It's nice
of course.
When someone goes, thank you. I like that. And for me, from a work perspective,
that's me.
I always say it's better than just me chatting shit.
Yeah.
Because it sounds better when it comes from someone else.
Totally.
But when you get someone who's maybe like over the top.
Yes, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's like, when you get a really nice heartfelt one.
Mint.
Amazing. It's like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like such a good feeling.
That's what it's all about.
But when you get someone, like you said, tag you in every 5 seconds and you're like, come on, it's free.
Chill, just chill out,
And I guess sometimes they want recognition. And it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice. Maybe they think they're helping you out, but I know what you mean.
It's just not me. Some people probably love that, but it's just not me. And luckily, no one does that here, which might be like a self-burn, to be fair, now that I'm saying that out loud. But yeah.
I don't know. I've seen it. You're sharing stuff. I have a few of your guys have followed me on Instagram and stuff. You know what I mean? Totally. So like I see stuff, and that's.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's let's go off into a story now, because from that, I'll share your stuff. I'll recommend you. Like I've got mates, like down in Stoke.
Yeah.
I've got other I've got Shane's got his own gym, so I'll tell people to go there if you want to do strongman and stuff. I'll push it out. I'll support my mates and my buddies and all that. Even though we're in like a similar field, I don't see them as competition in that. But this is the thing. So there's a gym in Horwich. Probably one of the original gyms there. And I used to train there for a bit. I was really, really pally with the guy who ran it. Turns out, as I started like mentioning opening this place and that and getting a unit and that, I'm looking through Facebook. I'm like, I've not seen this dude's post for ages. So I'm like, right, check it out. Blocked. Totally blocked me. Just had this little hissy fit. Absolutely blocked me. It's just a weird, petty way of living, I think. Because as we opened this gym, another gym opened just, 10 minutes away in Horwich. And I wasn't asked. I wasn't worried. Like, it's competition. I'm like, right, they do their thing. We'll do ours. It doesn't bother me like that. I don't think like that. I'm not thinking everyone's against me and we're all competing and now I'm just going to fail because he's going to have everyone in Horwich going to that gym. It's just a weird way to live, if you ask me. So
you get it, but like, I don't. Where mine opened, there's like 7 gyms I could like literally piss to.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And they were all doing okay.
Yeah.
If you do a good job, and like you said, it's like if I've got people around me, whether you be into rehab, whether you be into personal training, strength, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I wish you well. Do well.
Yeah.
We've all got to get better at this.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, in my view, us who've stepped out, especially outside of commercial gyms, we're fighting the good fight, trying to fight against the bullshit.
Yeah.
Trying to get people actually learning some stuff, actually understanding some stuff, actually enjoying it, and not just doing like endless spin classes. If you like
mundane shit.
Yeah, like that you've been read that's good for you.
Yeah.
Or like, or these stupid.
Like eating kale, Yeah. It's good for you, innit? But it's shit. Let's be real.
Yeah, don't do stuff that makes you miserable.
Yeah.
Like that's that's
exactly.
the big one. Don't do stuff that makes you miserable. If it makes you miserable, don't do it. For some people, they love that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't feel like you have to. You can make your own. And I always say this. It's like you go on about. The thing I find with trainers is a lot of them want to be like the experts in their people's lives.
Yeah.
They want to be the guru.
Yeah.
And I've had people call me that before, and like you said, it makes you cringe.
Yeah.
And it's
not
nice.
what you're about.
It's nice.
I know it's a compliment, but it's inside. It's not.
Yeah,
so.
but the fact is, it's like I'm a product of everything I've done. All the diets I've done, all the training I've done, all the coaches I've worked with, all the clients I've worked with, all the podcasts and books and teaching.
The people you've been around. Yeah.
And I've failed. I've made mistakes. But every single one of them has formed who I am and my ability to navigate this fitness industry and this fitness journey, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, totally.
But a lot of trainers want to go, oh no, I've got it figured out.
Yeah.
Here's my solution to this problem.
Yeah.
And then they try and you've got to do this, you've got to count macros, you've got to do blah 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 blah. And it's all these things can be beneficial, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's up to that person they've got to do their own journey.
Yeah.
So you're just a guide. You're just someone who goes, they come to you for diet. Well, you know what? Here's what I think's wrong with it. Here's what I think's right with it. Usually, I'm that fucker who's tried most things.
Yeah.
So I'll go, this is what I learned and this is how I would do it. But ultimately, you've got to let them do that.
Yeah, take what I've said away and put your own spin on it. Do your own thing.
Yeah,
that's exactly that.
And they try and overcomplicate it. They try and make it out like, especially in nutrition. It's like, it drives me mad. Because they try it's like they've got it worked out. There's this calculation. And I've done it. I've got the expensive scales that work it all out for you.
Yeah.
And it is this scientific thing, and it is do this, do that. But we know that trackers are so inaccurate.
Yeah.
We know that, all these calculations are still very, they can be very, again,
inaccurate. Of course, yeah.
Calorie information on food can be very inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's like, ultimately, it's like, no one's got it figured out, but people try and make out like they've got the scientific formula.
They've just got the perfect blueprint, and there's a one-size-fits-all.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to come with them, he's going to do the same thing, and in their head, they're all going to smash it. And that'll be it.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work that way.
At all.
At all. Yeah.
At all. And I tried it because I wanted to help people more, like yourself.
Yeah.
So you try it and you try all these different approaches. And then what you eventually realise is you're like, you can't put it in a system. Like your training method.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to create their own system.
Yeah.
Their own way of doing it. And it's like, so many better people have already done this.
Yeah.
But it's your job to look at it and look at those around you.
Yeah.
And go, oh, that's cool. Oh, I like how he does that. And
that is it.
And try and put it together, and help people understand it, and help people. But then they've got to make their own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's a bit like I think I heard Matt Bell talking about it.
Okay.
He always calls it art.
Yeah.
Yeah, the training's art.
Yeah, of course it is. It's an expression of you.
Yeah, and it's more about teaching people a philosophy.
Yeah.
A philosophy that they can apply to multiple things, and I like that.
Yeah, definitely. On that same line, I talked to Jamie Lewis a lot, and we were saying the same thing. It is an art form. Lifting is an art. It's about having fun. It's about just doing whatever lift you want. And there's too many people that have this rigid routine. It's like they've got to bench, they've got to squat, they've got to do this lift, they've got to do that, they've got to do percentages or this and the other. It's like, man, just come in and lift weights. It's not that complicated.
I always remember Tom Martin, and obviously he follows different plans and stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I liked that he talked to me about was I was sort of saying about tapering yourself and following percentages and all that. And he's like, but you come in and you have them days where you feel really good.
Yeah.
And the weights are moving great.
Yeah.
And you could have done another 20.
Yeah.
And then the stairs don't align for another 6 months. Should you have just done it on that day?
Damn right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I still think about it. I'm still haunted by the last time I front squatted heavy. Yeah. I did 170 and it flew.
Yeah.
And I'm still haunted because I never got because I had injuries and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I will, but I never. I should have gone.
Was it just like on the plan that was it for the
Yeah,
day?
you
And
know,
you were like, right, I'm sticking to that. Yeah.
And I was trying to be conservative, and I was like, and I still, oh God, John, you had at least 10, 20 kilo in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I'd done it because the stairs never aligned again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For that lift.
That's it. That is it.
And I know it sounds really daft to be bothered about something like that, but
No,
it's
it doesn't, because it is important to you. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying you should max out all the time. But but I think you don't have to fit it in 7 days.
No.
You've got a year, you've got 10 years. You know, if you don't bench this week, it's fine. But like you said, the amount of people who come to you and they're following these rigid programs, and the bodies are all chewed up, and they're going, "Oh, my shoulders hurt. Oh, every time I bench, it hurts." And it's like, have you tried not benching?
Yeah, we tried stopping for a bit. Yeah.
Have you tried just not benching for a week and doing some back work?
Yeah.
Instead.
Have you tried stretching? You know, like, have you
Yeah.
tried moving more? Yeah.
Well, it's like you use all machines, don't you? I noticed that over years, and
I love machines.
I was talking
But it
about
used to be something that I hated.
Yeah.
Because I was that young idiotic guy who's like, barbells only, you know, machines aren't functional and all this stupid bullshit. And now, I fucking love machines. Give me a machine any day.
Well, I think they're great for newbies.
Yeah.
I think that I used them when I started, and I was the same. I went into that. Oh yeah, foot machines, just squat, press, dead. Because in my head, squats and deadlifts, they're the full range of motion. Well, a barbell deadlift's not a full range of motion.
Is it?
Not by a long shot.
No way.
You pick a sandbag up and see how much it served you.
Well, I've done a freaking, basically a deficit deadlift off something like this. That's a longer range of motion than a deadlift. But we can move further. Same with the bench press. I use the McDonald bar a lot, the deep one. So, if you've done a barbell bench press, I can get deeper with a McDonald bar. Yeah. So it's just mad, isn't it? It's just mad.
We limit ourselves, don't we? A lot of it because like you said, you get rigid in these ideas.
Yeah.
Of like, this is what we do. This is what we are. So anything that like use a machine, and you're a power lifter. But it's like actually, it's exactly what you need because you've got all this taut tissue.
Yeah.
Isn't used to opening up.
Yeah.
So a bit of feedback from a cable. I've just been doing a load of them this morning. I've just got a video on now.
Nice.
Because I'm like discovering I'm discovering a new world now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because at Terry's place he's got like it's CrossFit, but then he's got like a nice little gym upstairs.
Right, cool.
It's a nice little setup, and he's very much.
So I've only heard good things, mate.
They're good vibe. Beginners to advanced, and they all help each other. Everyone I met's been great. And
that's it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what we have here, and that's what I want it to continue to be.
So. Variety, man. That's what I see. I look around and I'm like, cool. He's got these machines. I did have a few. And I did recognise the merit in them, but they weren't the priority.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing a whole new opportunity in them. And then, again, I always keep saying about it, but you look at old school bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And look at how they moved. Look at how they use machines.
Yeah. And
guess what? There's a reason that they lasted a lot longer, the bodies looked a lot better, and they moved great.
It's just, I think just lifters in general, like me and Jamie were basically saying, right now, historically, we are lifting humans are lifting more weight than ever, but they have much shittier physiques.
Yeah, but say
so there's something wrong. There's something going wrong there. Like you said, the old school bodybuilders lifted heavy, lifted well, fucking ran. They actually had a good life. They partied. They had they had fun. God, modern bodybuilders are just losers, man. They're just. Well, I just hate that.
And on top of that, they've overtaken the nutrition world. So now you've got a load of people who think the best way to eat for them to get lean is replicating what someone does who's taking a lot of hormones to be able to eat so low fat. For example, because let's be honest, the chicken and rice multiple times a day. Let's dress it up with some skinny sauces, some concoction.
Yeah.
Like basically, you know what I mean? Granted, it's maybe better than the shit they were doing, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's so deficient in like fat soluble nutrients. It's so deficient in what people actually need.
Yeah.
And the only reason you're sustaining it is because you're supplementing that with hormones.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Right. Yeah.
No issue with it. Go for it.
No,
Take them all.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, go wild.
And if you're working with people who do that, that's a different story.
Of course.
But like most normal people can't.
Sally down the road who's overweight is not going to be able to sustain that,
No, and you're basically going to give her an eating disorder.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck her hormones up.
Yep.
And and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these people because, we've had challenges, let's be honest. It's like someone taking a fighter diet and a bodybuilder diet and them having a bastard kid that's a bit, special.
Yeah.
And that's what challenges are, in my opinion. They're basically slimming world with kettlebells.
Of course, yeah.
That, and I'm not saying there isn't people out there who are doing well, but as a whole, all I have seen since I've been a PT for the last 10 years is all the people who do them, you get some who take it and they jump off it and they do well. Maybe they have a good person.
Yeah, you get the handful, don't you?
Yeah.
But most of them, no.
Most of them, I see them now, and people who I know for a fact have done a dozen, and they're the biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah, they bounce right back. They don't learn anything. They don't end up enjoying it. It is that, right, I'm challenging myself. I'm going to have 12 weeks of hell or 8 weeks of hell or whatever the fuck it is. And then it's like, right, I've done that. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Do I carry on eating like this and training like this? Well, no, I've not learned. Fuck all. All right, I'll just go back to my old way. And now I'm massive again.
Yeah, and like I said, because they don't have that knowledge, they don't have that understanding, they haven't developed. Because that's what we've got to help them do. We've got to help them develop an understanding and a knowledge base and the tools that they need. And there's so many tools out there that can be useful to someone. Look, I'm a fan of a goal. I'm a fan of deprivation. I'm putting myself through it this month.
Yeah.
But that's my choice, and I've done lots of other work before that for years.
Yeah.
And like people take people who've got none of that and go, here's the most extreme diet you've probably ever going to have done.
Yeah.
And you've never done anything like it.
And you've never really trained, let's face it, these people, they've never really trained. They might have done some curls once in a gym.
Yeah.
We're going to do the most rigorous training you've ever done.
And really, these people are so nutrient deficient because they've been eating dog shit for years.
Yeah.
You're taking someone, especially if you're taking your typical, I'm not saying your typical person, there's a lot of people who have Greggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
They maybe have something they took for lunch
and
then they'll have an okay tea. But a lot of people, they might have a Greggs for breakfast, they might have a shit dinner, and they might have a shit takeaway as well. I've trained plenty of people like that. It's so common. For me, it's very different to my world.
Yeah.
But it's surprising how many people live like that. And then the alcohol and yada yada. So they're already really deficient.
Yeah.
And you're going to do this fancy calculation so you can show them how much you know. And I've done it. I'm not.
Same.
And you're going to show them, this is what it is. If we do this, you'll be in this deficit, and you'll do that. And then they put them straight in a deficit, and it's like, well, these people are deficient. You're taking away loads of calories.
Yep.
They're lacking in stuff, and you're putting them in a deficit. And this, although it's nutritious, it's not enough.
Yeah.
These people need to come back up to baseline.
Yeah.
Before you can cut them out.
Yeah.
You can't No, they're on 1,500 calories. They're on 1,200 calories. They're on
of the blandest food ever as well.
No, it's okay. You can have them skinny sauces. Look like jizz.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Have you seen them? I've done it.
I've seen the bottles.
It's like they've got a consistency of jizz.
But you don't remember the American one? Like Walden Farms. You don't remember them years ago?
No.
That was the OG shit, and it was 0 calorie sauces. It tasted like ass. Not even good ass.
Well, that's the thing, most of it. And because they're heavily sweetened.
Yeah.
And I know there's this debate raging about sweeteners, but it seems to be the trend is they don't seem like they're that good for us. That seems,
I'm on the other side. I'm looking at the data and that.
I'm not saying there's a conclusion that they're terrible.
Yeah.
But my experience is, I know if I had a couple of cans of Diet Coke in a day, I feel a bit shitty.
Yeah.
That might just be me overly sensitive to it.
Maybe,
that's my experience. But there seems to be little bits of information that come out. And just kind of what I understand of the food industry. As soon as one starts to be a problem, we create another one.
Yeah.
And then we wait another 10, 15 years before we find out if anything's going wrong with it.
True, yeah.
And and there usually is an effort to kind of suppress it for a while.
Yeah.
And there's, we've seen in the last few years, this happens quite a lot in science.
So, it does.
I was reading something the other night, and it was about bread, right? Because I was dead interested in, when did bread get fucked up? Because if you just have some normal bread that's from a bakery that some guy's baked, flour and water, let's say a nice sourdough, you can still buy them in some places.
Yeah.
Doesn't give me any jib whatsoever.
Yeah. And
it seems to be easily tolerated. And that's, for me, that's how bread is. A lot of people comment when you go to France and Italy, the bread's better, it's more tolerant. Whereas in this country, we've got all these people with all these,
issues,
gluten issues, and we've got intolerances and stuff. I had my own experience with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, when did they start throwing fucking oils in? When did they start throwing extra stuff in it? Yeah. And this article I was trying to find out when they first started adding rapeseed and shit like that, because a lot of breads now have that stuff in as well. Yeah. So again, what you're finding is people are reacting to other stuff in it. And this article, it was a good article. It was in the Independence from a while back. And he was talking about how they added these enzymes to make it like sort of more spongy.
Okay,
last
right.
A bit longer, right?
Yeah.
So this enzyme had been added like maybe in the 60s.
Right.
And they didn't have to list it because when it gets heated, it's supposed to destroy it.
Right.
But then there's like in this article they're talking about there's a link between this particular enzyme and making gluten toxic.
All right. Okay.
And you're like,
Right.
oh, and then we've had that trend.
Yeah.
You know, of people having more and more issues. And that's just from one little thing that someone went, makes it a bit spongier. And that's what I mean. So I'm very like, I'm not anti putting stuff into food, but it seems to be that the more we fuck up, it causes problems.
The more natural you can have some, the better, obviously, you know.
I'm not saying like, I definitely have stuff that has sweeteners in it. And I've used them. And I've always like gone to people because you always have that thing, you might as well have a proper can of Coke. And it's like, well, if someone's drinking 5 cans of Coke. I remember a girl. She was drinking 5 cans of Coke a day. She switched to Diet Coke and she lost 2 stone.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that is a net positive, right?
Yeah.
However, you get these people who literally are consuming non-stop artificial sweeteners.
Oh yeah. Of course.
I honestly think we're going to find that.
I imagine the people just doing that as well. Their general diets aren't great either. So
and the health's not great.
But
you do
combination
get it,
of shit.
You are getting it within the fitness industry because how many people are operating on low calorie, low fat, and then they're making it up with sweeteners and other stuff. Yeah,
and that's I do diet, that is what I'll do. I'll have low calorie or no calorie sodas. Yeah, big time.
But then again, there's a difference between that's my treat end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my treat end of the day. And again, people are having 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's like, but it seems to be, again, I don't think in small amounts. I certainly don't.
No.
Don't be afraid of sweeteners. I would use them, etc.
Yeah.
But I think we should be cautious of, I don't think you get away free with it.
No. But like anything, I think the majority of people's diet and their lifestyle and that, I think a Diet Coke is a very low on the list of issues. But I'm getting what you're saying, but I think there's a lot more shit for people to sort out first.
It's just because they're becoming more prevalent. Because what's happening, like they did we went low fat, we filled it full of sugar.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at sugar, so we're filling it with other shit.
Yeah.
And there's always a cost.
Yeah.
There's always a cost to that thing. Don't get me wrong, there's some people who say, well, it's just as bad as having sugar. No, it's not.
No, yeah.
But there was a thing the other day, like, okay, I've been using a vape, because I've cut everything else, and I'm like, right, vape's a treat. But there's a thing about how, because they've got the sweetness in them.
Right.
And there was someone monitoring the blood sugar, talked about how their blood sugar, because he got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes,
right,
and they were monitoring the blood sugar. And every time they vape, he spiked the blood sugar.
Crazy.
And that's because of the sweetener in it.
Right.
And that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
So that means that potentially these things could have an impact on blood sugar.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot But again, if it's just that one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we all.
But it isn't with most people, is it? It isn't that one thing. There's loads of things that they're doing wrong or not doing right or could be doing better, let's say.
I think the problem is just we have everything's so fucked in the food system.
Yeah.
And again, people are making stuff for profit, they're making stuff for shelf life, they're making stuff to reserve. And the problem is when you start doing that, there's a cost. There's a cost to,
help.
Yeah,
there is
a cost because, we know that, again, I think once people said eating more of this bread, you'd have to check, but I think the trend is, that's when we started seeing people having issues with folate.
All right.
Sure. And again, I remember reading something about how, again, it's like if you eat stuff that isn't great for you, well, it can leach minerals from your body because your body has to use stuff to process it. So as this prevalence has gone up of this stuff, we've seen deficiencies, they've gone up, deficiencies have gone up. Yeah. And it's as a consumption of natural, say, animal fats and products have gone down, and the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a cost to doing this, and it's like you go down to that middle of the road, Anthony, but everything in moderation.
Yeah. But you're damn right. You are damn right. But I'm really big on like bone-in meats at the moment. Like meats off the bone, like proper meats. None of this stupid shit. None of these lame cuts and all this processed crap. Just proper meats off the bone. Get some good fats in you, and you'll be laughing. Yeah. But I assume you're kind of into that at the moment.
Man, I just like I'll eat meat.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. So I assume.
To be fair, for the last year, all of it is sort of meats, fruits, and then I'd have like rice potato a couple of times a week as well.
And how are you feeling on that?
Best I've ever felt.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I had all like sort of gut issues and stuff.
Right? No, you've not.
Yeah.
Or they're going.
Gone. Obviously, I've talked to you about the peptide, so I use BPC 157 with that KPV.
Yeah.
I've used that on and off.
Yep.
Obviously, things like intermittent fasting. But I got to a point where I couldn't eat anything other than meat, rice, and stock. So essentially, I was doing a mini vertical diet.
Yeah.
But I had to eat very small portions. And the example I always give is when I was really struggling to figure out what was going on with my body. I remember covering this rugby game in Latchford. Fucking beaming day, dead nice day.
Yeah.
And I'm like rushing to get there after I've worked it morning. And I drunk a cappuccino. And I was having all these and I couldn't pinpoint it, so I was trying to eat like fruit and yogurt and just things that I felt would be easy on me.
Yeah.
I had this cappuccino, and I remember someone going, "What the fuck's that on your neck?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I had a golf ball on my neck there, and the gland on my neck had just fucking gone like that.
Right.
And that was within, like an hour of having this latte, this cappuccino.
Right.
Because remember, it was a dead hot day. I was like, and then I'm covering this game, worrying about the lads, and meanwhile, I'm like, "What's on my neck?"
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And that's how bad it got. And I was like, obviously I went to the doctor. I had like bloods, I had stool, and it was just like, "So what do you want from us?" I'm like, "I can't eat anything."
An answer, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, "Well, it sounds like you're managing it." And I was like, "Cheers, doc." And that's when I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to just." So I cut out dairy, I cut out gluten, I cut it all out.
Yeah.
And then I just, I got the BPC, and then I carried on, but I was still having a lot of, I was managing it, but it weren't great.
Yeah.
And my pain wasn't great, so I was still very stiff, very tight all the time. And obviously I've done a lot of work on that as well.
Yeah.
But my overall just pain and everything was just shit.
Yeah.
Because you're inflamed all the time. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And your guts are shit. And I was just like, right. So again, that BBC and stuff helped. It took the edge off. And I was able to, I was having little treats and stuff. And I get a bit giddy sometimes. And then I'd have to rein it back in.
Yeah.
But I felt like I had some control over it. And then I just kept seeing, obviously I'd done bits of the carnivore before. And then I kept seeing about seed oils and shit like that. And again, that's another debate for itself.
Of course.
But I kept seeing about it. And I recognised that a lot of these things I'm eating that are dairy-free and gluten-free are highly processed.
Yeah.
They add a lot of stuff to make them taste half decent.
That's it.
And I was like, right, I'm going to cut all that shit out. So I did. So my desserts were like coconut cream mixed with honey. Because I was still avoiding dairy at this point. And I did it. And I swear down, 10 days of cutting all that out, I could see my abs a little bit again.
Right,
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I just had my knee op as well.
Right.
So I was pretty conscious about, I just wanted to make a change. I just felt broken.
Yeah.
My knee's just been operated on. My back's not felt right since I've hurt it, even though I've
Guts are
lifted.
fucked, right?
Yeah, I just felt broken. So last year was all about rebuilding. That's what I did. And I just went, meat, fruit, that was my basis.
Yeah.
And then I just have rice and potatoes as well.
Right.
And I'd use lots of animal fats. And I just started feeling great, started leaning out.
That's it. Sounds like a decent diet, to be fair.
But the best bit was, and obviously, like I said, I talked to you about the peptides I used then.
Yeah.
I got to end of the year, and I just decided, I'd been having bits of cheese here and there and bits of dairy. And I'd started having a few things, we'd made some homemade burgers using a bit of gluten, the dreaded thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, I'm not doing too bad with this stuff.
Yeah.
And then over Christmas, all I did is I just went, right, whatever I get, if I'm going to get a loaf, I'm going to get a proper loaf.
Yeah.
I'm not getting one of these shitty ones that's full of oils and other shit. I just want it to be bread. Fine. Got some brioche buns, same thing. I just made sure I got the brioches that didn't have loads of shit in them, that were just, flour, water, milk, whatever they fucking use.
Yeah.
Fine. Loads of dairy. Don't get me wrong, I ate, so I was full.
Yeah.
And it was foods I don't always eat. I had ice cream, man. I had ice cream this Christmas. I've not had ice cream for 2 years. I fucking love ice cream. Pizza and ice cream. I had half a pizza and it was fine. Yeah. And I was like, because I got it from a proper Italian, and I was like, oh my God, I weren't allergic to these foods.
Yeah.
It was just the pure bullshit that was in them. I just got overloaded because as a kid, that's all I ate.
Yeah.
I lived on micro burgers and shit for years.
Same. These little microwave toasties when we used to get all the time.
Sandwiches, turkey drummers,
just shit in it. Just shit. Just absolute shite.
I always remember my missus giving me an apple when I was 18, right? And it was when Gabby was young, and she gave me an apple, and I was like a chimp. It's like,
what is it?
It's like,
you eat this.
And she was laughing her head off of it. Same when we making me olives, for the first time. Yeah. And I'm like,
we've a lad who comes to the gym who's kind of similar. He's going through his little change now of growing up and eating proper foods.
Yeah,
and it's good. Yeah, it is good.
But so that was for me. That's why I stuck to this side. But man, in terms of my body, in terms of my mental health and everything, my brain felt better.
Yeah.
My brain felt better. My body felt better. And I leaned out without trying. Yeah. And also I've been working on a lot of other stuff. I've been working on myself. I've been working on my There's everything.
Yeah, of course.
And I
of course.
feel like this is more of a reflection of the work I've been putting in everywhere else.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, like, I'm lean. I'm strong still. Like, now I felt
Yeah,
really good the other day, and I'm like, oh my
you've
God.
been doing well and
Pound
everything.
for
I've
pound,
noticed.
pound for pound, I'm getting close to. Obviously, I'm not 90k anymore.
No.
So I have to take my ego out.
What are you now?
About 80.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, but I'm going. But I'm like, yeah, feel good, man.
Good, mate.
What about yourself? What are you up to diet wise?
No idea, mate.
I know you, because when you do things like this,
yeah, that's it for the past 3-4 weeks with like getting all this sorted and moving. That diet has been atrocious. For the majority, like most days, it's like breakfast is like 6 coffees, and then there'll be something small in the day, and then like a pizza. That's it. So now that we're we are getting. Well, I say we, like I'm multiple people. I am getting back on track and eating a lot better. And I'm just a sucker, man, for like Greek yogurt with like whey mixed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Like, especially if you get like the flavored wheys, you know, like the Perform stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's a carrot cake one I get. You mix that in. Oh, it's banging.
I love Greek yogurt. Like, we always have big tubs of it in our house. Greek yogurt, bit of honey. Like, yeah. And again, but I couldn't have that.
Yeah.
So now I can, and it's like.
It's mint.
Yeah, because I missed that.
Yeah,
it's like Greek yogurt with a bit of honey and a few blueberries. Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Yeah, totally.
It's just like,
Been on that. After this, we're gonna go shopping, get a lot of meats and that. So yeah, I'll be back on properly now.
But yeah, so meats on the. I know what you mean about meats on the bone. Like I keep buying like lamb shoulders and shit like that.
Yeah, properly.
Just got brisket. What do you get then? Brisket, chicken, steak. You know, all
that good shit. Because the thing is, like, you get the nutrients from the bone as well, and you know. I know bone broth's popular and that, but nobody eats bones anymore because, well, bones taste like shit. But the actual nutrients from the bones are mega for people, and so many people are missing out on them. So if you just get some bone-in meat, you know, get some ribs, get some brisket, like you said, and a big freaking T-bone, you're laughing. Yeah, plus, it's got a built-in handle.
And it's not, to be fair though, it's like, a whole chicken, maybe your lamb, but just throw it in a slow cook.
A full chicken,
And you've got but you can do that, and you've got some stock as well.
Yeah.
It's not hard to, I get it, not everyone wants to do it, but at some point, I talk to grown-ass adults all the time who don't know how to cook or don't spend any effort in it or tell me they've got no time. And it's like, man, I've got 3 kids, I've got a business. If I can cook every night, or one of us can, you can, calm down, grow up. Because I do, that's one of the things I always get because
I always think part of coaching, or I've noticed over the years, a big part of coaching is basically just being an adult babysitter. And you kind of just, like not even with like the diet stuff, but sometimes people will ask you questions or they'll do something and you're just thinking, what the fuck is that? Why have you done this? There's certain individuals, and they know who they are if they do watch. And I'm just always just pinching my nose, squinting my eyes, thinking, right, these are 30, 40-year-old dudes and females. I'm thinking, why have you done that? How the fuck? Why do you test me so much? And it is just babysitting adults. And they laugh at it. And,
it's especially when people are paying you for the time, you give them advice and they ignore it.
Oh, none of them do that. They just do daft stuff or things that I've gone over multiple times. I was thinking, you know this. Why are you asking me? Why are you doing it like this? We've done this for years. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Go on with the diet stuff. Go on.
With everything, just everything, training, everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, you just feel like you're right. You feel like you're babysitting adults.
You
it's like people walk into your gym and it's like they become children again.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it just sounds really daft, but it's like people just leave stuff in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
When everyone's about, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just leave that in the middle of the floor, someone will trip over it. And it's like, they have no it's like, they just, like silly things, or they put the coffee down where someone's lifting. You know what I mean? The bench someone's using. And you're like, do you pay no attention?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just little things. It's like, the coffee machine runs out of coffee. Yeah. And they're like, no, there's no coffee. And you're like, maybe you're lifting, maybe you're coaching. And you're like, there's water there. There's coffee there.
Yeah.
Please, I don't know, you just put coffee in there and you put water in it and you press the button. Like, what do you do with all? But these grown-ass adults who have professional jobs.
Well, I was going to say, they're not these people aren't idiots. They're not daft people. They have good jobs. They are smart people. So it's like you said, as soon as they come through the door, sometimes the brain just switches off. And it's like, right, you've got to take over. But it's like, no, I'm not your babysitter. I'm not your daddy. Just do it right.
Oh, I was going to ask you about it, actually. I seen that. So you've just got that Plague of Strengths book, is it?
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie stuff. Yeah, like I said, I'm good friends with Jamie. I've talked to Jamie over the years. He's a top dude. Very opinionated. I do like his opinions quite a lot. But yeah,
I like the stuff he puts on about like just old school savages.
Yeah,
like, things like that.
Yeah.
I love that because it reminds me of you what a pussy you are.
Yeah.
And I've heard Joe Rogan talk about this where he has this picture of this Karel this Russian wrestler and he says to remind him what a pussy he is.
Yeah.
And it is when you see these absolute like especially some of the old school savages.
Yeah.
And you maybe didn't even hear of, and I like that because these are some of the people I've not heard of. Yeah, I like his stuff.
Well, he's like I think he calls himself a lifting historian. So that's his thing. Yeah,
that's really cool. No, that's cool.
Yeah, it's mint.
He's got a rich history.
Yeah, exactly.
It's art, man. It's art.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's what he is all about, lifting his art, and we've kind of lost that, making it more of a science or making it science based.
Yeah.
Which obviously science is involved in lifting. Like no one's disputing that. But it's become so kind of regimented and gate kept and all this shit. It's like, mate, just go in, lift some weights, do whatever. Yeah,
lifting's full of pussies.
Lifting is full of pussies.
It's full of pussies. Powerlifting was like that. It depends which federations and how much gear's involved. Yeah. But yeah, people are just like scared to just like grind.
You've got all these
scared to like whack some chains on and like see if you get crushed.
Yeah,
like just see if you get crushed. See if you can pull it. See and like when you get stronger. You have to be a bit more careful.
Yeah,
you do find that the guys who are really advanced. But I remember Ed Cohn. I did the Ed Cohn seminar, right?
Yeah.
And people are asking him about programming and stuff. And I remember his response. It was like, "Well, when I was kind of squatting and dead in 500, I started following a program."
Right. Yeah. And these people are squatting like 200 pounds maybe.
Yeah, 100 kg.
You know, they're asking these. Yeah.
And they're following like a 10-week peak and doing a deload.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, mate, just lift.
Literally just lift.
Just lift.
Like I had one guy saying, "Oh, do you want to like put like seminars and stuff on about lifting?" You know, like, and I was like, "Mate, no, I personally don't because I don't think lifting's that complex. I'd hate to take money off someone to put on a deadlift seminar because I'd just be like, right, just do this. We'd be here for 10 minutes. Maybe with your stuff, it's a bit different and they'd get a benefit out of that. But I think for a single lift seminar, it's not that complex.
I do a class. Like I'm going to start doing some for next Saturday in the mornings. And all it is just for maybe broken lifters and broken people or people.
That's cool.
And it's essentially like, look, we're going to move. We're going to do some plyos because you probably don't do any of that.
Yeah.
And then we might do a deadlift, but I'm going to make you do some weird shit as well.
Yeah.
You know, some weird deadlifts.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the art of it, like the behind ones.
Yeah.
I don't even know what half of them are called. I just do them.
Yeah.
But you know, like the single arm ones, the Atlas Power Shrug. You follow it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the mad shit he does.
Kelly Shrug and that he does.
Yeah, like do that shit. Have fun. You can do whatever you want. It's all made up.
You did that in a commercial gym though. Some dickhead or multiple dickheads are going to come up to you and say, "That's wrong," or "That's not a real lift." It's like, well, it is. It is a real lift. Yeah. I'm doing it.
Well, there's actually someone looking at me. I had a guy. He's chronically in pain with his back. I've treated him a few times. I'm like, mate, stop coming to me to rub you.
Yeah.
I need to show you how to move.
Yeah.
Because you can't move for shit. Like, and he's, you know, he does bathrooms and that. I was like, you know, so he's in weird positions all day long, and then he'll get home and he'll hurt himself twisting funny.
Yeah.
Because he can't. He's rigid as fuck. He can't move. So all I've got is, say, a PVC pipe and a wall ball, and I'm just getting him do, you know, the fucking like Zercher kind of movement, and back down into it, and then back up, and I'm just getting him to. Essentially, it's like an actual nerve floss that does something.
Yeah.
You said this bullshit.
Yeah.
That you fucking see everyone.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. Like in my opinion.
No, I agree.
I'm like, no,
I
let's
agree.
actually floss that fucking tissue.
Yeah.
And let's use some load because this guy, although he's fragile, he's
not dead, is he?
He's got muscle.
Yeah.
He's just trapped. And we need to pry it apart.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I love all that shit. And like,
well, that's been lost as well. How many lifters do you see that are so, like you said, rigid and stiff? And if you're thinking like, if you want to be like, you know, compare yourself to like metal or steel. If steel doesn't bend, it's shitty steel.
Yeah.
You need to be able to bend and be a bit flexible. And you see all these guys, they come in and they're only good for three things: squatting, benching, and deadlifting. And this is obviously talking about powerlifting now. But in general, that's all they fucking do. So they waddle up, do a squat, but they can't do anything else. They can't do a jump. They can't touch the toes. They can't tie their own fucking shoelaces.
But
because they can't bend. They can't move.
They can't twist. They can't turn. And the minute that something is off slightly, the minute you step foot, and I've done this.
Oh yeah.
You pull something.
Yeah.
It just something flies off.
Or
Because
going back
you
to what we were
haven't-
saying before with the lifting one being full of pussies. As soon as something's off, like they'll come in and be like, "Oh, you've not got a Texas power bar, can't deadlift then." Oh shit! It's like, are you fucking serious?
I'll come back to another lifter. So
Yeah. Oh, I forgot my knee sleeves. Can't squat. Forgot my elbow sleeves. Like, fuck me, man. I've just been doing a lot of like gearless lifting at the moment.
Yeah.
Just come in, get under the bar, and lift. It's mint.
Yeah, I don't think I put my belt on last year.
Yeah.
Because I just had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Figure out your body.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a crutch. It's a tool, but don't let it become a crutch.
But I see people, this is more like at strongman now. They've got like knee sleeves and wraps on. They've got elbow wraps on, wrist wraps, 3 belts on.
I say, yeah.
I'm like, fuck me, man.
But then again, look at the numbers that they're pushing.
Yeah.
They need to rein that shit in my opinion. Because what I'm seeing, from what I've been around, is you're seeing the weights are getting higher and higher. It's impressive.
Yeah.
But the technique's suffering massively.
Yeah.
The range of motions are suffering massively.
Big one.
The amount of gear that people are now using right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Drugs that I've kind of not heard of, doses that are like, you make your eyes go wide, multiple compounds. It's ridiculous. Like,
I know what a little does.
Yeah.
Because I'm always very open about this is what I used when I did the powerlifting. This is the stuff I used before I went into TRT and before, I've got a prescription.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went through a doctor and stuff like that. Yeah. And I did it right because I recognised I weren't right.
Yeah.
And it was life-changing for me.
Yeah.
It was life-changing. You're talking 100 milligrams, 120 milligrams, or even maybe 100 to 150 depending on your size.
Yeah.
You'll feel great. You'll feel great.
You will feel mint. Testosterone does a body good.
You will feel
it
good.
Definitely does.
And there's a lot of people who low. Like I was talking to a lad the other day. He's messaged me going. He's asking about different. He's messaged me a few times.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to share information. And I think it's important that we do when we're open and honest because sadly people are making big mistakes. Yeah, I'm on TRT. Not this lad, but you get people going. Oh, I'm on TRT. Oh, what are you taking? Oh, I'm just taking a mil a week. Okay, what's per mil? 300 milligram. That's not TRT. No. You're on a cycle.
Yeah.
You're on a cycle, and with that, how are you taking it? Or just in one go? Yeah, that's not going to end well. You're going to get some sides. And they've got loads of spots and they've got loads of other stuff going on.
Yep.
But this lad, he had a blood test before he did anything. And he's only a young lad, and he's always felt shit. He's always struggled to put on muscle.
Right.
His test was in the toilet.
Right.
Just naturally fucked.
Yeah.
Like, often, I have shared this, but I'm not sure what it was exactly. When I was a kid, and it's one of the reasons I had so many back problems, I've only really figured this out over the last couple of years. Right. I had major surgery here.
Right.
So all my junk was inside me.
Right.
I would have been able to have kids.
Right.
So I had major trauma down here when I was a kid.
Right.
And then obviously I was pretty shitty at sports, I was pretty shitty at everything. I fought to be good at stuff. And strength training did save me in a lot of ways because it gave me like a support system.
Yeah.
But I hadn't addressed any of this.
Right.
But obviously, probably impacted my endocrine system as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
But the point is, it was like, for me, it was life changing. And this lad's like, I empathise with him massively.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, oh, I just feel bad saying that stuff to people because people just think you're on gear and that. I'm like, mate, you're a young lad, you're testing the toilet, you're telling me you feel like shit all the time. You've done lots of stuff to try and help it.
Yeah.
Don't feel ashamed.
Yeah,
it's
and
medicine.
Who gives a shit what anyone else thinks?
Yeah, exactly. But it's because that's what I mean, and it's like, and he's
live your life worried about them.
And that's why I think we have to be more open about it.
Damn right. Yeah,
sadly, there's a lot of things that can contribute to it. If you've been in combat sports, that can do it. If you play rugby, that can do it.
Yeah.
If you had head trauma when you were a kid, that can do it.
Yeah.
If you've had there's so many things that can impact it, and just as a whole, it's declining. As a whole, it's declining, like year on year, generation on generation, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that, and we're seeing the evidence of that.
100%, absolutely.
And there's a big difference between abuse and optimization.
Well, you
and I had to get around that, because I used to be like, oh, natty, proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to hashtag natty and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, most people do that now. You can, I mean, there's that, but also the people who genuinely aren't, they don't even need to put that in the bio because you can tell. You look at them and they just look like shit. Yeah. Yeah. Or the other thing, again, this is something me and Jamie have talked about. There's a few guys in particular that are quite popular on Instagram and that. And they are like, devout, natural, drug-free lifters. But they are beyond morbidly obese. That's not cool. Saying you're like being proud of being natural, but being morbidly obese is like an oxymoron to me. It's just stupid. Like, there's nothing good about being that size just so you can claim natural.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand that at all. That is insane. Absolutely insanity. If you are morbidly obese, but professing how good of a lifter you are because you're drug free, I'd rather take loads of fucking drugs.
You're going to get to a certain point in your lifting, and I got to this point where you're lifting pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
And if you want to go further, you're going to have to get fat or get jacked.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get jacked, you're going to go down that route. Or you're going to get fat.
Yeah.
And both
of them, definitely.
Look, there's a certain limit, isn't there?
Of course there is.
There's a ceiling to like I remember when I was 90, like natural, say.
Yeah.
And there was a limit to how much muscle you can pack on. Could I have done some things better? 100%.
Yeah,
could I have done more things with diet? Could I have got me arsehole showing up to the sunlight? Could I have, you know what I mean?
None of us are perfect. We didn't have the answers.
All these other answers. Could I have had some raw testicle, maybe?
Yeah.
You know?
I
did that. Yeah. Not raw, but I got the desiccated stuff. I ordered it. You know, so before Liver King was a thing.
Oh, you were the OG Liver King.
I was shipping it in.
Yeah.
And it actually got stopped once. It never got delivered to me. Right. Because I was ordering in like these, they call them glandulars. Vince Gironda. You know Vince Gironda?
Yeah.
So Vince Gironda, maximum definition diet.
Yeah.
Because I did everything I could try.
The beef tablet, the liver tablet.
I had it all. Like, because I was like, I even got to the point where I was trying to negotiate with a company in New Zealand because I thought that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get the raw stuff to make my own supplements.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was, and I wish I'd fucking done it.
I wish
I'd done it. But no, because I saw the merit in it, and because we don't eat enough organs, we don't eat enough of the nutritious stuff, and it makes sense to me to supplement with that stuff. It really does.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat it raw like that line bastard.
Yeah.
And again, I'd have so much more respect if you'd just been open and honest.
Yeah, same. Because, I mean, I think everyone who knew. You like, it was
anyone
always a really naive.
Yeah, I like how.
Yeah, you had to be super fucking naive to not know.
People have a loop, man.
Yeah.
People have a loop. And not everyone. Some people, you know, again, it depends on how did they use or abuse.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's generally, you bypass your genetic set point, you know?
Yeah, of course you do, yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's why they can be very useful. But so to summarise what we've talked about, I think from my perspective, people just need to be careful.
Of course they do.
Because again, it's like we're going into this trend of people are using so much. They've been lifting for like 3 months.
So, yeah, I was going to say so much so soon. So yeah, they've been lifting, you know, not long. Or kids using shit as well.
Yeah.
And by kids, I mean like, you know, 17 to 20 odd year old because they are kids to me.
I get a lot of people who I encounter who have like, you know, man boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got friends it's happened to.
Yeah.
You know, and
like, some kids will be talking to me like, oh, I'm on this and that. I'm like, you like 18 and a half. Stop doing this. Fuck, why have you done this? Get off the drugs.
Yeah, I remember someone at uni asking me, and I'm like, mate, how old are you?
Yeah.
Do you fancy having kids? What about? Have you asked yourself these questions? What are you lifting?
Yeah.
Like,
you
add 100 key to that, and then maybe, like, you know, you've got gains here, mate.
Yeah.
What you doing? And then, you know, like, I get, and luckily, I do get people asking me.
Yeah,
and I'm glad they ask me.
Same.
Because I feel like, well, that's good because they feel like they've got someone they can go to because that's our job, like I was saying. That's who we should be. We should be like, oh God, we're like a tribe. We should be a tribe of elders now.
Yeah.
You know, no, but like, because we're lacking that in society.
Yeah.
You know, we're lacking that as a whole. Like, I don't know about you, but like, my dad just worked and went pub.
Well, my mum just worked. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So it's like, my mum just drank and worked. You know, so it's like I didn't really have my adult interaction was with piss people.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like all my family pisshead. You know, so it's like you don't really like. I haven't got anyone in my life. I have now.
Yeah.
Like Steve's a good mentor, and then I've got people around me, and I have friends and stuff now.
Yeah.
But for a long time, especially when I was like a teenager and a young man, and I was trying, I didn't have anyone I could go to.
Yeah.
You know, coaches. And the problem is, this is where people get in with bad coaches.
Of course.
Because they're looking for mentors.
Yeah.
And that's why I think
you're very naive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got a responsibility to be better for them as well.
No. 100. I totally agree. And whether we like it or not, we are kind of mentors, and you know, we're at that kind of level of like authority kind of thing, and people will look up to you, or they will come and ask you questions. Sometimes it's questions you're not like prepared to answer, or you don't know the answer yet,
Mm.
and you've just got to kind of be there for someone. And yeah, let them know as best as you can. But yeah, I've had loads of kids asking me about this shit. And to be fair, all the lads, or some of the lads, when they are considering going down that route, they will come and ask me, which is good, and we'll talk through it. And someone will be like, don't fancy that. Someone will be like, right, okay. And it's always like, right, well, start low. If you're doing all right, keep it that.
Yeah.
You know, just don't, I've seen this online. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's like 10 things.
Yeah.
What the fuck, why? Yeah.
Try one.
Yeah, try one. See how you feel with that. Yeah.
And that you'll find that'll be great. And then you might find a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You'll feel good.
Yeah.
But there's a cost to this, and then because you hear these stories of people who are now taking multiple compounds and not really getting anything out of them.
No.
There's people, when I find out what they've took, and I look at what they've lifted.
Yeah.
And I look at the physiques.
You're like,
Like, you're taking like double what fucking Dorian Yates was taking.
Yeah, and also like
and you look like shit.
Yeah. And you definitely don't look like Dorian. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not lifting that heavy either.
No.
Like, considering, like, what have you got out of this? And I also know what a little does and what a little did for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much?
But a lot of lads, they're trying to mask their shitty lifestyles with drugs.
Yeah.
Like, piss poor diet, poor sleep, shitty training. Right, I'm going to take drugs.
Yeah.
But, you can't do that really. It doesn't work. How's about you focus on all them three first, and then if you want to throw drugs in, do it. But you'll make more gains because everything else is cool. Your diet's good, your sleep's good.
Try everything first. Because it's like, I always say the same thing. I'm by no means against it.
No, same.
I think it should be regulated better.
Yeah.
It should be easily accessible. I think you should be able to do what the fuck you want with your body.
Damn right.
Look, if people can have dicks put on them now and have them took off, okay, and you can debate that all you want, then people should be able to take steroids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the surgeries that we'll do now and the procedures we'll do, the cosmetic procedures we'll do. Like, the fillers and all this stuff. Again, you do you.
Yeah.
But if we're having that, then dudes should be able to get jacked. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just, we're allowing that in society. It's like I always say the same thing with drugs. Like, we allow everyone to get pissed, but then we say these other drugs are illegal.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking bollocks.
Alcohol could be a topic on its own.
We allow alcohol in society.
Drug.
Absolutely destroys families, destroys lives, destroys the amount it costs the country in crime and ill health.
Yeah. And it's just the worst.
This weekend, right now, what are most people about to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And we allow that, but then there's other things. Oh, no.
Well, it's something
that guy takes steroids. And it's like, but there's a guy who drinks every night.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just one of the lads, he's all right, isn't he?
That's it, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, he beat his wife the other night, or he got into a fight, and that's just
yeah, and there's always the whole thing, roid rage and all that stuff, and it's like, again, it's a lot of misconceptions.
I just think if you're a dickhead, you're going to be a bigger dickhead when you're on gear. If you're a sound guy,
same as booze, same as any other drug. However, just make sure you've thought about it, because once you have done it, you have fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
And you because I meet a lot of lads who did it when they were younger, now in the late 30s to 40s, and they're just like, they just feel shit.
Yeah, they feel shit, they look shit, everything about it's shit.
And you're like, what did you take? And you can tell, because you've still got some muscle, but they're just, that oomph isn't there, and you're like, have you had your test levels checked, mate? Because you did gear when you're younger. Yeah. And it's like, and that's what I mean, so it's like, that is a consequence, especially for young men.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? I think once you...
And it's things you don't think about when you are young.
Yeah.
Because you're dumb, aren't you?
You
are dumb. Like,
and I just think that, but as we get older, I just think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. As you're getting older, I would highly recommend looking into it, because it's like the fountain of youth for dudes.
Of course it is, yeah.
And it's like, and there should be more clinics doing it. There should be more people investigating it. It should be more easily accessible on the NHS. Yeah. Because most of the time you go to NHS, you have to fight for it.
Oh yeah,
that's why
people get fobbed off.
That's why I went down the private route, because they try and give you antidepressants, even though you've got bloods that go, it's low, and it's in the toilet. Well, it's within range.
Yeah.
The crappy end of the range.
Yeah.
And it's so you just end up going private, and it's just the way it goes. And they essentially, they're going to have their own set of problems. But the good thing is, we've got these facilities. I always remember someone saying to me, when the blood buzz, that goes round and does bloods.
Yeah.
And it was at a gym. Well, you can tell that's a bad gym. And I was like, no, you can tell it's a really good gym and they're really responsible because they actually give a shit about their members. They're making sure that they have the bloods done. They're making sure that they're monitoring their health and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just things like, it's just normalising that stuff.
Of course it is. It's just help looking after yourself. Yeah.
We all know it's happening.
Yeah.
Look at rugby players. How big are rugby players nowadays? Yeah. I'm not saying they're all using stuff.
I would. I'd say, yeah.
But why wouldn't you? It's your career.
Yeah.
You've got 10 years to make money.
It always makes me laugh when people think actors are drug free as well. That always tickles me.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hemsworth or Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I love More Places, More Dates because he breaks down when he's took, doesn't he? Yeah. You can tell that look of him and stuff. He's cool like that.
But again, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You are making money. You're making thousands, millions, whatever.
He's a guy. He's going to put it in for you. Once a week, go and see the doctor.
Yeah.
He'll come to you. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
How many million?
It's against my morals or something.
Yeah, it's funny.
The fans want me to be drug free, so yeah.
Well, like I said, like you were saying before, that that's a science in itself.
Yeah.
And like you said, we've got this thing with training where it's like, science. People are like the evidence base and the science base, and people have just lost the. Just go in and have some fun and lift and train and do some shit. Because
I think that is, like you said, lost in the gyms.
Like, things catch up. Like, science will catch up in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, Poliquin was famous for doing shit for years.
Yeah.
That they were then researching years later.
Yeah.
And he just knew to do it. Because he worked with people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to be. I'm studying. I'm doing my master's, right? It's in science. I'm doing psychology and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to be in the field, and I am. And we need more people like that because we need to marry the two worlds together.
Well, if anything, it's an applied science into lifting. You have to do it. You have to be there. You can't just read books.
Some people think you can.
I know. I've met enough coaches like that. Yeah. You can't just read theory and books and apply it to everyone. You've got to coach. You've got to be in the trenches, kind of thing.
Do you know how many? So at least in the PT personal training coaching world, and like your strength and conditioning and all that. Most of them guys have a background in training.
Yeah.
In my world, in rehab and in physio, not so much.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah, but
a lot.
Few and far between. Yeah.
So they're so risk averse. They have no idea. Like, they can't relate to a lot of the people they see.
And that's the thing. You need to be able to relate. You need to be through. You need to go through your own shit as well.
They have no understanding. They have no understanding of their own bodies.
Yeah.
I remember when I was studying, I remember one of my lecturers talking about she's getting ready for a coach to 5K. And I was like, and this is like for someone who's, qualified in where you should be working with athletes and sport. And I'm like, no offense to it. She's lovely lady.
Yeah.
Lovely, very intelligent, far more intelligent than me, far more capable than me in a lot of ways. Yeah. But I was just like, wow, your bar for yourself is really low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, your bar's low. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's a low thing.
No. But if someone
when you're working in that world,
and you've seen these athletes all the time, you think you
but like my bar for myself is like fucking up there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'll never reach it. But I'm always going to try. But I have a high bar, and my bar for my people who come and see me, it's high as well.
Yeah, of course. You want to push people. You want people
I want you to get
do
back
well
to
and succeed.
I'm not like, I just want you out the shit. I want you to excel.
Yeah.
And do really, really well and get back to as optimal as you can be. If we can get you back to as close to your factory settings as possible.
Yeah.
And that's different for everyone.
Of course.
But that's what I want to do. Whereas you get most of them, man, they have no concept of training and pushing hard and working hard. They have no concept of I don't know.
They're just content being fine.
Yeah, and it's just good
enough. Yeah, C+ kind of thing.
And I've just noticed it a lot. And they're so risk averse. They're so scared of basically, it's like that. They give people they love a diagnosis. A lot of people love it's this structure.
Oh yeah.
This specific structure. Or this is what it is. Blah 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 blah. And it's but why? There's probably about 20 things going on there contributing to that.
Yeah.
But they give people this thing and then they make them feel fragile. They've got something that's broken. That's it. That's what I get a lot.
Going back to this class you're doing Saturday, I was going to say it's probably going to be good for people, knowing that they aren't so broken and fragile and made out of glass that they can actually do some shit. They can do jumps. They can lift weights.
Yeah.
They're not dead. They're just a bit hurt.
It's basically doing the shit you did when you was a kid naturally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the aim, really.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I meet so many people who've been told they've got this, this, and this. And it's I've got slip disc in my back, I've got this, I've got that. Well, long ago, mate.
But then they become the slip disc, don't they?
Yeah.
That is it. It's like some of the lads were talking the other day, and they had an old coach, and all he used to do is either if someone bigger and stronger came in, he'd be like, right, well, that's just genetics. That you guys are never going to be like that. And as young lads, they fucking believed it. So they never really pushed hard because in their mind it was pointless because they're never going to be like this guy or they're never going to be like that guy because they're just like destined to be in this like little genetic body that they've got and that's it. And I was like, fuck that. So I remember when I took him on, I just picked him up, and I will do that with anyone, even like the skinniest dude who comes in with the tiniest frame. I will tell him he's got good genetics because I want him to believe that and push through. Because even if he's fucking not got the best genetics, even if he's got the shittest genetics in the world, he will excel and do a lot better than if I were to tell him straight away, there's no point.
Everyone's got something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone's got something.
You can always get stronger, you can get bigger, you can get better. You can be a better person, like, training-wise.
Yeah, if
morally as well.
If you're around, like I said, you've got this thing that's just limiting you. I was doing some work for... it's an MS therapy place.
All right.
I'm just like it's just something I'm doing. But like I just want to be around that stuff more. I'm very interested in it. It's supposed to be hard to work with some clients like that, and I want to learn more about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like one thing I noticed. A guy that is very good, he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
But he kept mentioning people's conditions over and over again.
Right.
And I was like,
it just drills it in, doesn't it? And ingrains it.
Because you know, because of this, because of that, and it was like, and straight away I'm like, chill, man.
Nah, man,
I'm like, straight away I'm like, just chill. Like these people don't make them the diagnosis. These are people, and we can we'll get a lot more out of them. In my opinion, if we don't talk about that, yes, we can consider it in what we're doing, but we don't have to say it. Yeah. We can just be considerate of it, and we can be worried that this might cause a certain, they might lose the balance on this certain thing. Yeah. So we can be mindful of it.
Yeah. And if anything, that just means you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, right, okay, this has happened because of that. Oh, well, let's just get up.
He'll come to me with something, man. I have a time, I just pay very little attention to it.
Yeah.
No,
I get you. You're not
like that this morning, we were talking this morning, and I was like, right, I'm going to do this, and this. And at the end, I'm like, look, this is what it probably is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fact is, that's happening because of this, this, and this. So we need to look at you as a whole person. We need to look at what's gone on. We need to look at your history. What have you had done before? What worked well for you?
Yep.
And then based on what you've said to me, I've got, this will help him. Do you feel better? Yeah, I feel well better. There we go. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter. I don't need to tell him. And we can all, I'm guilty of it. We all get guilty of it. But I don't need to show him how much I fucking know.
No.
I don't need to show him that I can pinpoint the exact structure and the origin and the insertion and all that bollocks.
No.
It's useless.
Yeah, it'd be cool for your ego, or not you particularly, like someone else.
No, but like I do it, I've done it. I'm guilty of it because
I've done it. Yeah,
because you want people to, to feel confident in you. You want them to, you know what I mean, believe in you and stuff. And it's hard. It's hard not to do it sometimes, especially when I'm new, especially when I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Or you're around someone who maybe knows a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard, and I'm always trying to work to check it.
Yeah, because obviously we as coaches and that don't want to feel inadequate. And unnecessary. Like, you know what I mean. But going back, like people with slip disc, they are slip disc. Then I've been diagnosed with. I can't do that because of this. I can't do that.
Yeah.
My rotator cuff's fucked.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Well, some guy told me he was from rotator cuff, and I was okay.
Oh, some guy, huh?
All right, okay. No, like you've seen someone.
Yeah.
And I was okay. Which one?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 4 muscles, mate. So which one was it? You got this, and this? Because I know me anatomy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I can do it. And I was like, and they usually they don't have an answer for me. So straight away, I'm like, so this person's told you you've done your rotator cuff, give you no solutions, and not even give you an idea of what muscle it was. Yeah. So I'm already questioning, like, okay. Or like the other day, someone was like, oh, it's this, innit? Because it goes into there, and I'm like, it doesn't go into there. What are you on about? And he's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I checked it afterwards because I was like, am I wrong here?
Yeah, you like doubting yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, but that's what I mean. People get given so much bullshit information, but again, they don't need it. Yeah. Like you slipped your discs like 7 years ago. Well, guess what? There's hundreds of people out there, thousands, millions walking around with slip disc who have no pain.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
So chill out. And it was 6 years ago, so it's probably healed. Yeah. What you're dealing with is almost like the phantom. It doesn't mean there's not some issue within tissue.
No, but they've probably not done anything for 6 years. That's probably the bigger issue.
Because that's just seized up, and that leg's not moving now, and that hip's not moving now. So all we need to do is get that moving, and you do it, and they go, oh, it's gone. And you're like, yeah, man, you just need to, like, obviously I'd help you, but you just need to move it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chill. It'll get better.
Just go through
It's
those
never
ranges
gonna
of
heal.
motion.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
One of the coolest guys I've got here, I mean, on paper, it just sounds like a shit sandwich. He's got chronic fatigue, Crohn's, and fibro. He's got all three of them, which sound shit on their own. He's got all three, and he never fucking brings them up as an excuse to not do something. He actually pushes through everything. And he's like, not physically like in a fist fight, but he's like the hardest guy I know.
Well, that's how you know it's genuine.
Yeah, yeah. He never ever brings it up. He always just pushes through. If he's having a shitty day, he'll just say, and he'll do something light. If he's having a good day, he'll push through it. But he's never like, oh, I can't do this because of that. Because he wants to do shit more than I want him to do shit. So it's just, it is a mindset thing, definitely. And if you kind of just depend and dwell on your diagnosis, then that's all you're going to be. That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always do better.
Always.
Right.
Always,
I think that's a good one.
Cheers, brother.
That was great, man. That was really good.
Yeah, man, that flowed.